Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Brief description accompanying an illustration. A story about mythical or supernatural beings or events. Brief description accompanying an illustration. Translation of foreign dialogue of a movie or TV program, usually displayed at the bottom of the screen. Provide with a caption, as of a photograph or a drawing. Taking exception, especially a quibble based on a captious argument. A mere caption unworthy of a reply. A short moral story, often with animal characters. A story about mythical or supernatural beings or events. A deliberately false or improbable account. A heading that names a statute or legislative bill. May give a brief summary of the matters it deals with. Designate by an identifying term. A legal document signed and sealed and delivered to effect a transfer of property and to show the legal right to possess it. He kept the title to his car in the glove compartment. The status of being a champion. He held the title for 2 years. An identifying appellation signifying status or function, e.g., Mr. or General. The professor didn't like his friends to use his formal title. An established or recognized right. He had no documents confirming his title to his father's estate. An informal right to something. His title to fame. Give a title to. A general or descriptive heading for a section of a written work. The novel had chapter titles. An appellation signifying nobility. Your Majesty is the appropriate title to use in addressing a king. The name of a work of art or literary composition, etc. He looked for books with the word jazz in the title. Usually plural, written material introduced into a movie or TV show to give credits or represent dialogue or explain an action. The titles go by faster than I can read. A record or narrative description of past events. A history of France. A trivial lie. A short account of the news. The story was on the 11 o'clock news. A structure consisting of a room or set of rooms at a single position along a vertical scale. A message that tells the particulars of an act or occurrence or course of events, presented in writing or drama or cinema or as a radio or television program. A piece of fiction that narrates a chain of related events. The Legend of King Arthur and His Court at Camelot. Showing by example. An item of information that is typical of a class or group. Artwork that helps make something clear or attractive. A visual representation, a picture or diagram, that is used to make some subject more pleasing or easier to understand. Middle Ages. The nephew of the King of Cornwall who, according to legend, fell in love with his uncle's bride, Iseult, after they mistakenly drank a love potion that left them eternally in love with each other. Legend, chalice used by Christ at the Last Supper. The object of any prolonged endeavor. Literature narrating the lives, and legends, of the saints. Legend, chalice used by Christ at the Last Supper. Legend, the circular table for King Arthur and his knights. A meeting of peers for discussion and exchange of views. Legend, chalice used by Christ at the Last Supper. Greek legend, a king in ancient Greece who offended Zeus and whose punishment was to roll a huge boulder to the top of a steep hill. Each time the boulder neared the top it rolled back down and Sisyphus was forced to start again. Middle Ages. The nephew of the king of Cornwall who, according to legend, fell in love with his uncle's bride, Iseult, after they mistakenly drank a love potion that left them eternally in love with each other. Middle Ages. The bride of the king of Cornwall who, according to legend, fell in love with the king's nephew, Tristan, after they mistakenly drank a love potion that left them eternally in love with each other. Middle Ages. The bride of the king of Cornwall who, according to legend, fell in love with the king's nephew, Tristan, after they mistakenly drank a love potion that left them eternally in love with each other. Legend. The circular table for King Arthur and his knights. Greek legend. The greedy king of Phrygia who Dionysus gave the power to turn everything he touched into gold.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.